As many of you know, I just spent the last 6 weeks backpacking through Western Europe, and before I went I saw a lot of videos of people showing how they packed for a trip like that. And so what I thought I'd do, I haven't unpacked yet, so there's even some dirty laundry in here, but I thought I'd unpack. And if this is boring, you know, just like push fast forward or pause or escape or whatever you need to do to get away from it. But I'm going to show you what I took with me and how I did it. So first, this is the day bag. This is the one I carried every day when I went out. Also, I used it on the plane, the thing that went under the seat in front of me. And mainly it had camera equipment in here. I didn't carry a lot of camera equipment. I went in September and October. And I was in Spain and Portugal, where it was nice and warm. And then it rained in France. I drove through, I didn't drive through, I took a bus through Switzerland where it rained, and I got to Germany where it rained, and then I went to England where it rained. But it's okay because it makes just for different types of photographs. So the main thing I took to keep warm was this North Face insulated jacket, very lightweight. Stuffs into a very small space. I usually wear a baseball cap because I like the shade that the visor gives my eyes in the sun. But when it got cold, the old knit cap with the Steeler logo. Also in this bag, and a travel pillow. And actually I use this thing at home too. I bought it for the trip, but I started to use it at home. I really like it. So anyway, travel pillow. I didn't use it on the plane coming back, although I did use it on the bus a few times, and it does make a difference. So in this little pocket where I keep maps and things, in the big pocket, I also carry, this thing is supposed to go around your waist, and it's supposed to protect from electronically reading your cards. I don't know if it worked. I didn't wear it around my waist. I kept it in the pack. And I just kept, in it I kept 2 credit cards, and I had about $100 in US dollars, and that's about an equal amount in euros. Usually what I do is every once in a while I go to an ATM and I take about $100 worth of euros, and that's what I carry in my pocket. Also in the upper pocket here I had my passport. Sometimes I stayed in a lot of hostels, and sometimes I had pretty secure lockers, and I'd leave these in it when I went out during the day. But for actually traveling from point to point, I carried it in here since I had easy access to it. The next thing in here, sometimes I put a long sleeve shirt in there as well. And the other thing, this is my camera equipment. This is all I took. The camera itself is an Olympus, and this is an OMD 10 Mark II, and it doesn't have any battery pack or grip or anything on it. It just has this little leather screw-on grip. It just half case actually just gives you a little more grip. That's a 14 millimeter Lumix 2.5 or 2.5 f2.5. Sorry, can't talk. The other thing I had in here, my backup camera was actually my cell phone, and I had one more. I used the cell phone quite a bit, and if you followed me, most of the pictures you saw on Facebook were taken with the iPhone. I was talking about the backup. The other backup I had was this little Polaroid cube, which does stills and videos. You can't see what you're shooting. There's no monitor. So I would just mount it on top of the plan was to mount it on top of my Olympus, and that way I could kind of frame what I was shooting. I never used it though. Didn't take it out of the bag, so can't tell you anything about it. Little power stick, which I used a few times because not all the buses had USB ports, so sometimes I'd get kind of low on the battery on my phone. So this it did a decent job. The other lenses that I took, I left a lot of lenses at home. Lightweight was my goal, and I'm the type of photographer that believes that you just use what you have to the best advantage, and if you worry about what you don't have, then you probably sit on your couch a lot too. So I had the 9mm body cap lens, and I just glued two caps back to back so I could mount two lenses. This is the f1.8 45mm, which I used a good bit, but that 14 was the main lens I used, and the body cap I used sometimes. It's fixed at at f8, so it's a lot of places you can't really use it to good advantage unless you love noise. And then I kept everything. I don't know what the brand is. Click Elite, but it's very good. It's just Velcro, so it can be any size that you need. And so I kept it in there. All right, so inside this little thing, and sort of the power cords that I immediately was going to need. Had one to connect the battery stick. I had for headphones that I used both with my iPod and on the plane, and I had these two cables, one for the iPod and one for the iPhone. All right. Also in that bag is the iPod, a couple of extra thumb drives, and an extra card for the camera. This little thing to plug in, it's the European plug. And I have a total of 4 batteries. If they were charged, they were in the plastic bag. You see it's empty. And if they were uncharged, they were just laying loose in there. So that's something I need to get doing. Water bottle. Baseball cap, folds up nice and small. Thought I lost it once, so I bought a replacement in Spain, a red one, which then I did lose, so, and I found this one again. Alright, and the only other thing in there, oh, actually there's more in there. Notebook, I didn't do as good a job. I did the first few days, but I tried to keep track of what I was doing so that when I go back to write a blog about it, I'll be somewhat factual. Let's see, what else? Periodically, my throat would get a little dry, I think, from the plane and maybe the buses. So, some lozenges that I bought. And this is from Sasha and Tialda. This is, I did the album cover photography on this last March in Los Angeles, March of 2016. And then they introduced it in July, but Sasha gave me a copy. Oh, and dang, I should have got him to autograph it. I didn't. Alright, well, now I have to go back to Germany. Anyway, I shot them in LA, but I saw them in Dortmund. I spent a couple of nights with them. They're moving to a house soon, but right now they have 2 apartments across the hallway from each other. One is where they live, and the other one is their studio. And they do their own production stuff there. All right, bottom of this bag, rain jacket. Used it more than I would have wished. My first 4 days in Paris, I lived in this thing because it rained the whole time. And so that's it. And then this little thing, if you don't need it, it folds up to nothing. Actually, it folds up to, here's some city maps. It folds up into itself, into a little pocket. But as I say, I used it on the plane.